Hi there, I'm Jennifer Sen, and I am a pregnancy loss recovery coach. I help women and their families navigate the loss of their babies from either a pregnancy loss or stillbirth by openly telling my own story and objectively listening to theirs. And I help them reimagine a new future that looks different than it did when they were pregnant. Today I'm talking to you about the feelings we have around the fear of moving on with your life after losing your baby. The days and weeks initially after a pregnancy loss are filled with shock, disappointment, anger, sadness, frustration, and quite frankly, it could go on and on listing the feelings and thoughts that often swirl in our head and mostly change on an hourly basis. I wrote a lot of my own thoughts and my responses to them in my free ebook, The 10 Questions You Ask Yourself When You Lose Your Baby. And one of the questions that kept coming up for me after the initial period kind of wore off was, if I'm feeling better, does that mean that I'm forgetting about my baby? This question shows up in several other forms too, such as, if I have another baby, does it mean, or will people think, that I'm trying to replace my baby? Or if I laugh and smile again, does it mean that I don't care about the baby that's gone? Well, we know for sure that this experience, however it happened, is something we will never forget. Once the fog begins to clear, we are often left with this feeling of, now what do I do? You may be returning to work, maybe going on a weekend getaway to get some rest and relaxation, or even just having lunch with a friend, and the feeling of laughter feels strange and like it's something that a grieving parent shouldn't be doing. I struggled when I was home with my two little boys who were at such joyful ages. They were 2 and 5, and I tried to be so hard to be present for them and experience all their funny antics, but I cried myself to sleep at night. It took so much energy to do the things I needed to do around the house, for my kids and my husband, that as my grief recovery went along, I would sometimes stop in panic and disbelief when I thought about what had just happened with the loss of my stillborn twins. It really felt like a bad dream, you know, the kind where you wake up and it feels so real that you can feel it in your heart and your stomach. Except it wasn't a dream. I could prove it was true every time I looked down at my C-section scar and leaking breasts. I couldn't imagine ever having an actual happy moment in my life again. So when a smile crossed my lips or a laugh came out of my mouth, it was startling, and it made me feel really guilty. I knew that I wanted another baby, and while I longed of having my arms full again with a thriving live baby, I questioned, what did that mean about me as a person that I would so willingly subject myself to the possibility of this scenario ever happening again? Did that mean I didn't care about the twins because I was so willing to just replace them? I knew rationally that wasn't true because I wanted them more than anything. But it felt like a betrayal of some sort that I'm pretty sure only lost parents can understand. It's probably one of the hardest things to discuss with anyone else because this could potentially be on the crazy scale. But every lost parent I've ever talked to gets it. I also knew that another pregnancy would be incredibly difficult because it's filled with fear and anxiety, and I was right. This feeling of betraying our baby or being disloyal by moving on with our lives, and even thinking about discovering joy again, is something that takes some time and lots of thought shifts in order to process the hard fact that we can't change the past. But we do deserve to have a beautiful future, and in fact, it's what our babies would want for us. We can think of things like, my baby would want me to be happy, or I'm honoring my baby by allowing their mommy or daddy to use this experience to help others, or to be a better parent to my siblings. Whatever the situation is, and depending on the sticking point, I like to work with my clients to try to come up with some phrases that feel empowering to them. and help them realize that moving on with things in their life doesn't mean that they will or ever can forget about the baby they've lost. Releasing any feelings of guilt, shame, or betrayal following a pregnancy loss or stillbirth is an important part of grief and a vital part of the process of healing. And it can take a long time because it's a feeling that comes up frequently and for a long period of time following the loss, even years later if it's unresolved. If you're experiencing these feelings regardless of how long ago your loss occurred and would like to change the narrative that will allow you to live a life full of joy and happiness in a way that honors your baby, coaching may be beneficial for you. And if you're pregnant after a loss or considering having another baby, coaching through it could be essential in keeping yourself calm and positive throughout this experience. Schedule a free support call with me on my calendar link, and let's discuss what might be best for your situation. You can visit my website at jennifersen.com to learn more about me, what I have to offer, and to download your free book. I encourage you to take one small step in releasing these thoughts that hold you hostage and know that you do deserve to be happy again. Message me to schedule a free support call, and until next time, I am sending you so much love.